Welcome back to the tool crib. Well, in my last video, I showed you guys how easy it is to actually change out grease in a grease gun. And now I'm going to be adding what's called a LockNLube grease coupler. This is a patented locking grease connector or grease gun connector. So I have a short clip here that shows you what happens in a normal grease gun. So with the grease gun, it has a couple or four kind of pins that reach out and grab around a grease zerk. But what can happen is if you're off angle a little bit, or when these things start getting worn, you can get grease all over the machine instead of going into the grease zerk itself. And so this LockNLube is going to eliminate that. Let's take a look at that clip. So I had my wife shoot that clip for me, and I intentionally did that. But on my forklift, I was a little bit off angle. So if you don't have a real good angle onto the grease zerk, that can happen pretty easily. So this particular unit is designed to eliminate that. So this is a LockNLube, like I mentioned before. This is their short version. They also have an extended version. In fact, I've got a new grease gun coming from LockNLube because it has some extra features on it that are pretty nice on it too. So I took this one out of my tool trailer. I needed one for the shop, so I'm going to put this one here in the shop, and my new one is going to go onto my tool trailer. Now, when you hit the trigger on here, what happens is these will splay out, and then as you push it onto the zerk, when you release the trigger, all those clamps kind of get pulled back when the barrel closes around it. So as you open it, you get tension, or you get freedom to open these up just enough to get onto the grease zerk, but when they close back down, those actually lock in solid around the grease zerk. So all your grease, until you release it, is actually going into the grease zerk and not all over your machine. And that's kind of what they say on here. Grease goes in, not on the machine. And they also provide a couple of extra seals in here too to rebuild this particular unit as well, instead of having to buy a whole new one. So I'm going to take the original off of here, which is just a couple of wrenches to get that off, and we're going to put the new one on, and I'll take it over to my drill press. I'll show you the difference. So this is one of those tasks where these Knipex pliers wrenches really shine. So I got the 5-inch and the 6-inch version here. We're just going to clamp onto this and get that old unit off of there. And that thing is really on there tight. I don't think it's loosened up quite enough yet. No, still not. So, one more turn on to get it. There we go. Okay, so now we got the old one off. And to install the new one, it's just as simple as threading it in. It looks like they had some thread sealant on there before. I might need to go back and do that. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and set this on to the unit. Get my pliers wrenches adjusted for this one. Actually, they're okay. And we'll go around and get this baby tightened up. Okay, we should be good to go. So let's go over the machine now, take a look, see what a difference this makes. Okay, so this machine really doesn't need all that much. So we're gonna open that up, and you can see how those jaws kind of open up there. We'll get it set onto the grease zerk, release it, and now I can pull against that, and she just won't come off. So I don't need but just a couple shots of grease in this, and then it's pretty easy to remove it. Set it on the other side, lock it in place, and that's all there is to it. Got a little bit extra. I guess that one was pretty full. So this LockNLube grease insert, if I can get it in view here, this is really, really nice, especially for those that do mechanical work, or if you like, with what I do, I have to service a lot of different machines. So in a lot of bearings that are in sometimes pretty awkward places. So this is going to be pretty invaluable. And I can't wait to get that new LockNLube grease gun to add to the trailer, because like I said, it's got a few extra features that are going to be pretty nice. So anyway, this is the LockNLube Grease gun fitting, this is well worth its money. My name is Ben. You've been watching the Texas Tool Crib. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you in the next one.